Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a bit. I was actually just looking the other day and I saw the last video I posted was in August of 2019. We're in January 2021. I do have a really good reason for not being around. My mother was actually diagnosed with ALS a few days after I filmed my last video in August of 19, and she ended up passing away in November of 19. So obviously did not feel like filming as I had lost my mother at 61 to ALS, or 62, I'm sorry. And then COVID hit. Myself, my husband, my kindergartner, and my then 1-year-old were all home and quarantining together, and I could not get a minute by myself, so I did not film. So today I thought I would film an updated what my makeup process looks like because it's been a bit that I just did a get ready with me current look. Next video I'm actually going to do is a quarantine beauty buys, I guess. Just some of my favorites that I've been using that I purchased during the quarantine because, you know, what was I gonna do? Got bored, participated in some of Sephora's discounts, and bought makeup. So yeah, don't want to ramble too long, so let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I'm going to prep my skin, and I'm actually going to go ahead and do that with one of my favorites, the Tatcha Silk Canvas. It's been through it, so I'm just going to prep kind of where I need it the most. So T-zone, pores, nose, chin, you know, the usual. If there's any videos anyone is wanting to see from me, let me know. See if we can make it work out. Because, you know, I'm hoping to try and film a little more often. My now first grader is finally back into school. They were kept from home from about Thanksgiving until the very beginning of this month. So just cleaning my hands with a little micellar water soaked cotton round. This is already damp. So for foundation, this is actually one of my purchases during quarantine. It's the Clinique Even Better in shade CN20 Fair. I really like this foundation. I like how it wears. I like how it blends. I would say it's a medium to full coverage, but it is buildable, so that's a positive. But it's just very pretty, and it's not, sometimes I feel like, thanks to quarantine, I bought a ton of like full coverage concealers, or I'm sorry, foundations, and I used a lot of full coverage foundations prior to quarantining, but not being in my office, not working, I really didn't do my makeup a whole lot. You know, couldn't go out, didn't go to my office, and now that you have to wear a mask everywhere, I really don't like ruining my masks by staining them with makeup. So I haven't really been doing my makeup much. When I do my makeup, I'm not really down for those full coverage foundations anymore. So go figure. But I have the ones I have bought recently. They are medium coverage, buildables, but still medium coverage. So then for my concealer, I'm gonna go in with my Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer in L2. That's like the longest name possible for a concealer. gonna grab a little mirror here actually, so I can see a little bit better. Little two-way mirror. So I can get up into my corner of my eye. And before I set my face, I'm going to put my eyeshadow primer on. So when I set my face, I can set my eyelids. All right, there's that. So for eyelids, I'm using my Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger, spread it out. Do the same to the other eye. Clamp the finger off. Dropped it on the ground, go figure. Excuse me. All right, so to set my face, I'm going to be using my Hourglass Veil setting powder. I'm going to take my big old brush and just start setting my face. This foundation is more of a natural finish. It's not luminous. It's not like a tinted moisturizer by any means, but it is a more of a natural finish, so it doesn't dry down matte or anything like that. Set those forehead. The laziest way to set your eye. Okay. Next, we are going to, I'm actually setting on my brushes aside because I'm probably going to wash brushes when I'm all done doing this. So next thing, I'm going to bronze. I'm trying to think. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look in a palette. This is the Stoned Rose Beauty 5-minute face on the go. Look Express 5 minutes. But it's got 3 eyeshadows, a highlighter, 2 blushes, and a bronzer. So it looks like this. Super pretty. So I'm going to go into the bronzer. And I'm just going to put that up on my temples. So this summer, my husband convinced me to finally put in a pool. We put in a above ground pool, and it was definitely a great thing. We actually put our deposit down in February for our pool, and then, you know, quarantine and COVID hit, and everybody was doing things with outdoor things, you know, pools and whatnot. And when my husband actually went to go pick up our pool for prior to installation, the company that we bought it from actually had given away our pool. And because there were so many people looking for pools around that time, that we got a free upgrade. My husband was, you know, of course, not pleased. But we got a pool. Both the girls absolutely had a blast in it this summer. We hosted friends, neighbors, family. So we're definitely excited to reopen our pool for this year. For my contour, I'm using the, this is the mini version of it, but it is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. It's the smaller one. They've got a bigger one. This one I think was like 29. The biggest one's like 68. and I do not need that big of one. So I'm just going to go in and do my nose contour with my contour shade. And then I'll kind of blend it out when I put on my translucent finishing powder. All right, for blush, I'm going to use my Patrick Ta Monochrome Moment Velvet Blush, and She's Seductive. And it's this color here. It's like a plummy color. Here goes the cheesy way of putting on blush. Ready? I would love to find someone who puts on blush differently than that, because I can't. I have to cheese it up and put it on. Okay, so next I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I'm going to be using my Kat Von D. Brand doesn't even really exist anymore. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Brow Struck powder in medium brown. I'm gonna use that same little pink mirror. This little guy. And the easiest way that I have found to do my brows is like this. So I'm going to brush through first just to get them all pointing in the same direction. And then just start blending them out. I go a little bit further back and bring it forward like that. So that way I don't pile on a whole bunch of product in the front of my brow. I just slowly drag it through. And I do the same on the top. I used to be all about pencils, and lately, I'd say probably about within the last year or so, I've really gotten into using the powders. I just like how it looks for me. And I just slowly start bringing it forward. To the front of my eyebrow. Brush it through. Like that. So, after, before. And I'll do the same real fast on this one. All right, eyebrows are done. Put the little caps back on it. Probably use this for my eyeshadow. Let's see, so done with that. I'm going to wait to set my face and put on my highlight until I'm done with my eyes, because that's just easier. Whew. What do I want to do with my eyes? Let's go fun and bougie today. Why not, right? Pat McGrath Mothership palette. This is the Mothership 7, a Divine Rose. And she looks like this. It's fun. It is fun to play with this one. So I'm first going to go in with this mauve color here. And it's really actually kind of hard to use this one because it doesn't open more than this. It is beautiful because it's beveled. But it's a little difficult, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go into that purpley shade. I'm just going to start working that up into the crease and toward the center. And I just tap in one time for this. I know she's got a newer one that's out, but this is one of my more expensive eyeshadow palettes. It's probably actually the most expensive eyeshadow palette I own. I have another one that cost $4 more, but it's got more actual eyeshadows in it, whereas this one only has 10. In my full-size Natasha Denona Biba palette has, I think 22, or no, 20. How many's in this one? This one's got 15. So it's got 5 more for $4 more. I hear a noise and I don't know if it's Ella sleeping or if it's my neighbors doing work outside. So it sounds like a sander, but it could be Ella making noise with her mouth, but I'm a little more inclined to say sander because I don't think Ella can sound like a sander. You never know though. Next, I'm actually going to go in with this darker brown. It's more of like a mahogany brown. I'm just going to stamp that on the outer corner and just start bringing that in and deepening up that outer crease. I'm going to do something a little bit more fun with the, yeah, it's my neighbor with a sander. I can now hear it's coming more from in front of me than behind me, because Ella's room is right behind me and that noise is coming from outside. And no, I'm not catching flies. It just looks like I am, because I have to open my mouth to put on my makeup. Okay. Now I'm going to apply the last ones with my fingers. All right, so I'm actually going to go in with this. It's a duochrome color. It's like a red gold shift. I'm going to put that from like the center of my eye and blend it out. See. Sorry. I know I'm covering you up, but I can't see otherwise. See, if you look at the sheet, when I rub it off, it's like a purpley gold. So it's like a purple. And it's Divine Rose, so it's like a rose gold. Rose to gold shift, not rose gold. Next, I'm actually going to go in with this champagne color here on the inner corner. Like that. And this last shade I'm going to put on the top of mine, then I'm going to kind of blend out the bottom. It is this one here, and you really can't tell, but it is like a liquid gold with a shimmer topper, but it's almost like a sheer, but it's so glittery. And I'm just going to tap that on. When my friend Lindsay my husband's best friend and his wife got married out in Vegas, and I put this on top as like her topper. It was so pretty, so shiny. Okay, I'm gonna wipe all that off my fingers. And I'm going to go in with just a kind of like a eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna pick up that same brown, and I'm gonna spread it across my lower lash line. So I'm just gonna tap in. And put it across my lower lash line. I used to be all about pencil eyeliners for the bottom of my eye. I honestly cannot tell you when the last time is I used a pencil on my eye. It's probably on the third side of not in years. But, and then to just kind of set my face, kind of blur where everything meets so it's more seamless, I'm going to use the Jouer Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder in Fair. So it looks like this. Got your little powder, and I'm just going to kind of tap that on the center of my face. Tap it on my nose. Make sure there's no, and then on my chin and my, so just basically like that. And then last but never least, at least in my book, highlight. And for highlight, what do I want to use today? I'm going to use my Ofra highlighter in Rodeo Drive. She looks like this. Just gonna tap in. Put it up on my cheek a little. I've never been one that likes the blinding highlights. It's just not my style. I like more of a subtle, easier to wear. Kind of put it up on the bridge of my nose and on the tip of my nose. And for my mascara, I'm using my Clinique, I don't know, High Impact Mascara in black. They have a brown, they have a waterproof. And unlike the last time when I bought mascara, I did not buy the waterproof first, throw it away, then buy the regular. Because I'm one of those, I worked at Sephora for a few years, and the amount of people that would bring back makeup either in noticeably the wrong color or half used or all the way used and expect either a return or exchange. I hate returning makeup. I have done it when something obviously doesn't work for me. But I will try to make something work if possible before I will return it. Yeah, because I have to throw it away. You can't save it. Next thing I will be using is my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Finish Setting Spray. And my super bougie fan. And there you have kind of my general updated day-to-day makeup look. I am growing out my hair, so it is super long, much longer than it has been in a while. But as I said, next I'm going to actually film some of my COVID buys, COVID favorites. So keep a lookout for that, and you can subscribe or whatever. But if you hung out this long, I appreciate it, and you have a wonderful day and a great weekend.